I'm joined by our senior international correspondent and anchor, Afua Hagan. Now, Afua, Israel says it has launched new strikes on what it calls military targets in Tehran and Beirut. What do we know about the scale and strategic intent behind these attacks?
Well, these attacks are about striking deep into Iran, deep into Tehran, if you will. There was an attack on Iran's state broadcaster, which of course is hugely significant. Israel declaring that it has aerial superiority over Tehran and is trying to strike intelligence and security and military command centers, and of course more targets within the IRG. It's very important for them to continue to try and take down the leadership. Now, in Lebanon as well, the attacks have escalated in Beirut's southern suburbs, which are Hezbollah strongholds, and broader strikes across Lebanon also. So it appears that Israel, like I said, are trying to cripple Iran's ability to coordinate. That's the people that it has to coordinate these attacks and to retaliate. So it's taking out intelligence, it's taking out security, it's taking out weapons, it's taking out its broadcaster as well. It's about putting pressure on Iran's leadership where they are now and their stability. And it's also about making sure that Iran's proxies, in this case Hezbollah, know that they can be attacked as well, even outside Iran. And of course, that is in Lebanon. So it's all about making sure, or trying to make sure, that Iran doesn't get back to any sort of stability and trying to cripple it, take out intelligence, take out security on every level.
So, 2 drones have hit the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, causing minor damage. How significant is this symbolically, even if the physical damage is limited?
Well, any damage to a US site is significant because it says no matter where you are, United States, we can get you. And also it's about Saudi Arabia's security and capability. They have long said that they are able to take down any attacks, that they have a very secure and very good air defense system. But in this case, where the United States Embassy is actually located in Riyadh, it's considered a very secure area. So the fact that it could be targeted, the fact that there is any fire, even if it is a small one, at the embassy, says that we can penetrate your defenses and we can attack the United States wherever they are and within another country that declares itself to be very secure. So even if it was just a small fire, even if it's just a small attack, it's very, very significant.
So U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the hardest hits are yet to come. Is that a warning of further strikes on Iran?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's also about setting us up, setting up the American people, setting up the public, saying to them, look, we are in this for the long haul, so to speak, that this is not over, that we cannot tell you how long it will take, but the worst is yet to come. We have this rhetoric from Trump also, he's been saying, first of all, that this would be a few days, then possibly a week, then possibly 4 to 5 weeks, and then in the True Social post that you showed earlier on, he said, we can fight wars forever with the stockpiles that we have. The United States are preparing their people potentially, and all of us, to dig their heels in and to have a longer conflict. And also, yes, it is a warning to Iran that we struck you over the weekend, but the worst is yet to come. And so, yes, I think we can take from that this is phase 1, and perhaps there's a phase 2, a phase 3 that we will see unfolding over the next few days.
So before we let you go, Afua, Donald Trump has described this war as a last best chance to stop what he calls Iran's sick and sinister regime. How much does regime change factor into U.S. strategy?
And that's a really good question, and one that people really want to know. How much of this is about regime change, really? I think you have Marco Rubio yesterday talking about the ballistic efforts. You had Trump yesterday emphasizing that as well. There could be some indications that this points towards regime change. Of course, the Ayatollah has been taken out, but it doesn't mean that just because you remove one person, that the whole government and the whole ideology of the country will change. Of course, on the weekend as well, we did have Trump encouraging the Iranian people to rise up against their government. So yes, in that sense, he is prompting regime change. Now, whether it will be the United States that will march in at boots on the ground and make sure that regime change happens remains to be seen over what will happen over the next few weeks. Is regime change being used as an excuse? I don't think so. I think perhaps that is part of the American, or part of what they want to do here, part of their ideas when it comes to Iran. But of course, we cannot forget the negotiations that were taking place this time last week were about Iran's nuclear capabilities. That is very, very important to the United States as well. So regime change possibly is part of the United States plan, but it isn't the whole plan.
Right. News Central senior international correspondent and anchor Afua Hagan giving us a look at what's happening in the Middle East. And definitely we're still fully following this story to see how it unfolds.